Welcome back. This is Sandy with Sandy's Organized Chaos, and today I have been wanting to do this look for a little bit. I have been wanting to do snow angels, and I did a cellophane tumbler similar to this back in July. It was like a Frosty the Snowman look, but I wanted to, again, just try it out with snow angels, and that's what we're doing today, okay? I know you guys got this. So let's go ahead and wake up, prep these tumblers, and slay all day. Let's do this. Now I know you guys may have seen my last or my most recent tutorial. I'm using a laser, and the only place I could really find tumblers for the laser was through MakerFlow. So I was like, you know what, let me go ahead and try out some other tumblers as well. So that's what I'm going to be using today. I've never used them before. This is my first time, so I just wanted to share it with you guys for those who have never used them. They come in this really super nice box. I'm going to pull it out. It comes, of course, with a straw. They are clear straws. I really like the clear panel in the front of the box as well. It's kind of neat. This is the cellophane that comes over it, or not cellophane, but the bag that comes over it. The lid is pretty typical of tumblers that you get to be able to create with. That's what the bottom looks like. Now, this is called a thick, so it's thicker and a little bit shorter than a typical 20-ounce tumbler. There's the lid again, and it comes also with, I thought this was a big plus, a tumbler care card. That's pretty awesome. So you don't have to worry about printing your own out. So it comes with all that neat stuff. So yeah, I really like it. I just wanted to let you guys know. The first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and prepare my tumbler. So I'm going to go ahead and give it a good sand. Then after I give it a good sand, you just want to give it a good buff until it kind of gets a matte look to it. You don't want to have to do anything too crazy with it. Then you want to go ahead and wash it off. You can either wash it off with your hose, or you can just wash it off with some rubbing alcohol and a paper towel. Then we're going to go ahead and give it a good spray paint. Now, your spray paint of choice is going to be whatever color you're doing. I'm going to be doing a blue cellophane, so I did a blue base. It doesn't really matter what blue, it's going to kind of shine through. So I guess, if you did a teal, it'll make your cellophane look a little bit more teal. So now I'm just going to go ahead and measure the width and the length of my tumbler here. Now, I got my cellophane off Amazon, and it comes in this huge roll. So yeah, you'll have it for a while, okay? Unless you're doing like 50 of these cups a week or something. I don't know, but you'll definitely have this for a while. Then you just want to go ahead and come through and cut your cellophane to the width and length that you need for the specific tumbler that you are using. And then, of course, you just want to double check it, make sure it fits. Mine's going to be a little bit shorter because after this is said and done, you can leave it straight like it is, but I want to come through and add some texture to it. So I'm just going to give it a few crinkles. I'm going to just kind of really just slam it together, I guess. I thought I was just really light with it, but it looks like I'm very aggressive with it. Anyways, just make it as crinkly as you would like it, or as not as crinkly as you would like it, however way you want to do it. So for the bottom, I'm going to go ahead and use this little circle tool. You can make, it cuts circles for you. The only thing is when you go to cut the cellophane, it can be a little tricky. You really have to hold it down tight so that way the cellophane doesn't want to wrinkle under it as you're trying to do your circle. So you just want to be careful, and if it starts to wrinkle like it started to do here, you just want to readjust the cellophane so that way you can do your circle. I know it looks a little crazy. Just trust the process. I'm going to very gently watch. There we go, straighten her back out, oh my gosh, and finish my circle. There we go, see, I did it. And we're just gonna pull it out, and now we have a little circle for the very bottom as well. Nice and neat there. And then of course, I'm gonna aggressively crinkle that too, to go on the bottom too. So we are ready for some epoxy. What do I have here? I think it was 20 milliliters of epoxy. And I'm gonna go ahead and tint my epoxy. I wish I would have used more of a dye versus an alcohol ink, because the dyes would have colored it a little bit better, but it is what it is. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and color that up. Then I'm going to go ahead and apply all 20 mLs of that right onto the surface, and I'm just going to make sure it's nice and smooth. I'm going to get that placed onto my turner and hit it up really good with my torch to make sure that I get all the little micro bubbles out of there. Now to add a lot more dimension, this is my favorite part. I'm going to come through and I'm just going to add a bunch of just random blue and Christmassy glitter. I'm going to just very lightly sprinkle this one over, and then I'm going to come through and add like patches of it here and there. This one's just mainly like all over the place, and then just like I said, just kind of random, kind of not random. You just want to add just your favorite glitters for underneath of this. It's what is going to happen is once we put that cellophane over top, it's going to look like it's ice frozen over top of the glitter, and it's going to make it look like, you know, it's underneath and the water underneath. Anyways, I really like it. I hope you guys do too. Now, once you're done adding all your favorite little glitters there, you're going to go ahead and take that cellophane piece that we had cut out, and you're going to go ahead and let that roll across the surface of your tumbler. And you just, as you roll it, you just want to make sure that you squish all the air bubbles out of there. You want to try to do your best to make sure that the backside of the cellophane is completely coated with your epoxy and there's no air bubbles. All right, now you pressed all the little air bubbles out of there, you're gonna go ahead and apply the bottom as well. If you did a bottom, not everybody likes to do the bottom, so we're gonna go ahead and do the same process along the bottom, pressing all the air out. And then after that, I will go ahead and let that cure. So I know there's a little bit of a seam there. Again, I'm not worried about that. We're gonna come through and spray paint and do all that fun stuff. So the seam does not bother me. We are back, and check that out. I love it so much. It's one of my favorite looks for sure. So we're going to come through and we're going to apply another coating of epoxy over top of our raw cellophane. You want to go ahead and make sure that you do a spray sealer or a liquid sealer, because the epoxy will want to wick away off of your cellophane. So make sure you seal that down before you apply that epoxy over top. And I'm adding probably another 20-30 mLs right over top here. Now, while that cures, let's go ahead and get our decals cut out. So for the portion that says "Believe in Thee," I just use, you know what, I can't see that from here. I'll put the fonts that I use down in the description box, but I got those right off of Creative Fabrica. If you are not a subscriber to Creative Fabrica, I would highly suggest you go ahead and sign up for that. It is really amazing with all the fonts you can get and all of the designs you can get. The only design they did not have was a snow angel vector. I couldn't find it, so we have to make one ourselves. We're going to be using two different shapes, and I found them at the very bottom of the shapes tab here. One looks like almost like an upside down mermaid scale, and then the other one's like a long elongated cone. So there's the first one that we want to use. And then there's the second one that we're going to use. So the main one, the main one is this elongated cone shape thing we're going to be using. So the first thing you want to do is you want to unlock your shape. So it's up in the, if you look up at the very top, there's where the width and height is. You can click on the lock and it will unlock that shape, so that way you can manipulate it and do whatever you want with it. That's the first thing you want to do on each one of these shapes. Now the upside down mermaid scale is going to be what the head is. So I'm going to go ahead and unlock that. I'm going to kind of make that taller, so that way, you know, you're just trying to think about what it looks like to do a snow angel. That's pretty much all we're doing. The cone one, I already kind of made it the shape that I liked, so I'm just going to go ahead and duplicate that and flip it over to the other side. And then I'm going to continue to duplicate the same shape to make the legs, and pretty much do the same process where I just keep going until I get about, you know, the look that I'm going for here. And of course, I left a little bit of a gap in between, you know, for the legs, because if you ever, again, if you look at somebody doing a snow angel, the snow piles up in between the legs, and that's just what we're kind of thinking about here. So you just want to play around until you get the basic shape that you want. All right, we did it. I knew you could do it. Okay, so now let's highlight it all together and then we're going to weld it completely. And there you go. Now you have your stencil for the peekaboo that we want to do. So the next thing you're going to do is go ahead and cut out however many snow angels you're going to make, and then the word magic as well, because that's going to also be a peekaboo. So I'm going to cut them all out together, and whatever kind of vinyl you really don't care about because it's going to get trashed anyways. And then the portion that's the believe in the, I'm going to do in like this pretty pale blue. I like it. So that's what I'm going to cut that out in. Now the next step is we're going to go ahead, I'm going to take the word first. I'm going to take the word magic first. I'm going to get that laid down. So you just want to get that centered and laid down. Then I'm going to go ahead and come through and lay down all of my little snow angels. And again, you just want to randomly place those to your heart's content here. And this is why I didn't care if there was a seam, because you're not going to see it after things all said and done. See, I'm placing that's where I'm starting actually, at the seam, so that way I know for sure I don't have to accidentally lay one across that open seam in the back. So this is what mine looks like. I'm going to take it outside. I'm going to spray paint it white. I'm going to be heavy with my white up along the top and the bottom, but I'm going to be pretty light with the white across the middle, as you can see here. The reason for that is because I like the way that looks. I like kind of being able to see that blue underneath. It just looks, again, more like ice underneath of the white. But I wanted to make sure that I hid the seam line along the top and the bottom. So that's why I did it more heavy-handed in those areas. So now I'm going to go ahead and pull back my decals, exposing our ice underneath. First, you could take it a step further and kind of buff away some of that white in between the snow angels, you know. I thought about that, but I didn't do it. All right, but I love this so much. So let's go ahead and add the snow around the snow angels. So initially I really wanted to add white puffy paint around the snow angels, but I didn't have it, and that's okay. I went ahead and went to the Dollar Tree and I picked up some Aleene's glue, because I didn't have glue either. But the only thing with that is it dries clear, which is still pretty. But again, if you can use white puffy paint to do it, I really feel like it would really just add a bit more to it. Okay, it'd add a bit more of that like puffy, snowy look. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my glue after I get it down to the tip here. Sorry if you can hear my family in the background. There's 4 of them running around here just being crazy. Anyways, if you watch my vlog channel, I have another channel where I have a vlog. You'll see that over there. But anyways, if you hear that, that's what's happening. So all we're going to do is completely outline our snow angel with our glue. And then after we do that, we're going to go ahead and come through and lay down our glitter. So you don't see, I'm being messy with it. That's what you want, you know, because once you're getting your legs going when you're doing the snow angel motion, it's not like clean, you know, especially because we're just adding the glitter as well. So I'm going to go ahead and sprinkle down this glitter. And again, I'll make sure to put all the glitter I used as well, and where I got it, which, you know, I think you guys know where I got the glitter. But anyways, for anybody who's new. Actually going to do like an outline outside on top of, there we go, the word magic. But I decided, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and add the snow look just like I did with the snow angels. So that's what I'm going to do here. I'm just going to outline certain areas with the glue, sprinkle on my glitter, and there we go. Because I added so much glue, I was a little nervous for it to get drippy and runny. So I'm going to go ahead and put it on my turner to dry. And you want to make sure it's dry completely. You'll know it's dry if you use just the glue. It'll be completely see-through afterwards. If not, if you use the puffy paint, then just give it a little tap and make sure it doesn't deflate on you. And then it should be good to go after that. So now after it is dried, I'm going to go ahead and brush off as much glitter as I can. But you know what? I actually didn't really mind if some of it stuck behind. That didn't bother me. Again, I didn't want to take away too much from the snow angel portion with the glitter inside under the ice and everything. So I didn't want to add too much to the outside. So I'm just going to wipe off as much as I can. And then the rest of it, I'm just going to let it stay where it's at. I'm going to go ahead and get a coat of epoxy over top of that. And after it cures, we're going to go ahead and add its final decal. So sometimes we have difficulties with some finer, you know, vinyls that we do, you know, the cuttings, the fonts that we use. So I'm just going to do this reverse weeding method where I apply the whole thing to the cup and then just remove the outside area that I don't want. And then what will be left is the wording, the fine font that you had cut out. And all that's left to do after that is add its final coats of epoxy, and she is ready to go. Whether you take this design and duplicate it as is, or you take it and let it inspire you to create something that is completely your own, I hope that you guys had a lot of fun watching this tutorial today. Again, if you're new to my channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys next time.